I'm Gabriel, and this is Black Force Comics Weekly Review, episode number 32. And we are filming today in Chupacabra Job. It's a local coffee joint here in town where we happen to do a number of events and coordinate events with them. And we'll be talking about that later in the news. But let's get started with last week's comics. We'll talk about this week's comics and then the news. All right, so let's get started with last week's. First up, Spider-Woman Alpha, issue number 1. Now this is going to be a tie-in. It's probably going to be about maybe 8 issues altogether, tying into this one series. It's going to cross over between Silk, Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Woman. So what happens is, you know, Spider-Gwen is from Earth 6-5. Now she can transverse between different Earths, so she visits Earth 616 quite often. And she's friends with Cindy Moon and Spider-Woman from Earth 616, Jessica Drew. So she goes and she's planning a girls' night out with, or girls' day out with Jessica Drew and Cindy Moon. So she goes and she gets in from Earth 616 and brings them to Earth 615. And the Earth 615, little spoiler alert, Tony Stark owns all the Starbucks in Earth 6-5. So their logo is actually his mustache goatee combo. It's pretty funny. So anyway, what happens is there's a villain who hires another villain, this Agent 77 of SILK. Agent 77 follows them when they come to Earth 6-5, gets Cindy Moon, or gets Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy's little armband thing that makes her open up the portals between different universes, steals it, and so now the villains have this ability to go to Earth 616, and our heroinesses are stuck on Earth 6-5. It's a really good series. I'm a big fan of Spider-Woman and of Silk. So Spider-Gwen, not so much, but I appreciate what she does and what she does for the comics. So check it out. It's a good series. It's going to be 8 issues altogether, tying in between Silk, Spider-Woman, and Spider-Gwen. And then you're going to have Spider-Woman Alpha and then Spider-Woman Omega at the very end of it. All right, so next up, we have Empress Number 1 from Marvel. Now, this is a cool story. So the backstory of this is right before mankind first came to Earth, in a split second, there was a whole civilization that was made and created that traveled the universes. And as Earth was being created, before man had become part of Earth's history, this civilization, these kings and queens had rose and fallen here on planet Earth before time began. And so this is kind of the story about one of those such instances of a king rising, and this king is a tyrant, and this was his wife, the Empress. So what the story goes on to say is that there's a evil douchery king, and he's killing people. He's killing 3 guys who were cited on incent to dissent. What was it? Well, let me tell you the exact words, because it's incensement to disobedience. So these 3 guys turned in a friend of theirs that was kind of saying bad things about the king. And because they turned in their friend and didn't kill their friend right away, the king saw them in their little tribunal thing and fed them to the animal. So they had to fight the animal, which is a giant T-Rex, which is pretty cool. So this is a story about the Empress and her 3 children from the king getting away from the king because he is a madman. So that's what this is about, and it's a real quick read. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's a step away from Marvel's continuity, Marvel's universe. It's its own little self-contained universe. So check it out. Empress Number 1 just came out. It's really good. All right, Nin Jack. You know I'm a Valiant fan. If you've been watching these, you know that I was let down by the past 3 Nin Jack issues when they had the whole dead side incident. I was expecting more out of it. Kind of let me down. But they're starting a new story, the new story arc, The Siege of King's Castle. So what's happening is Nin Jack's castle is actually attacked while he's in it. When he's coming back from the whole dark side thing, he's relaxing. He wants to go find his chill. And it blows up. He notices small things and he says, oh, I gotta get out of here. And so he goes to this bomb shelter that his great-grandfather had built. He goes in there and barely survives, finds out that whoever it is, they stole his identity, or they didn't steal his identity. They kind of messed with his identity, made him out to be a top 5 of Interloop's gang, most wanted. So they just really messed him, took all of his money, so he has nothing. Nothing at all. Not even Neville is helping him, because he goes to M16, and M16's like, I can't help you. You shouldn't have came here. Neville's telling me you shouldn't have came here. If it would have been somewhere else, I could have helped you. But since you came to the headquarters, you're wanted. I can't do nothing about it. So he's on his own, and it's really good. It's the way Nin Jack's supposed to be. So check it out. It's a ninja on his own, just with his skills and his wit. Really good comic. That's Nin Jack number 14. Check it out. All right, next up, Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad, April Fool's, issue number 1. So this is going to be a one-shot Harley Quinn issue. I've told you all before, Harley Quinn does a lot of one-shots. This is one of them. Now this one is, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost a dream sequence, the entire thing, or so we think it is. It starts off with the Harley Quinn that we know from her current run series, where she's in the hotel that she's owned right now in New Jersey or somewhere. And someone gives her a letter, an anonymous letter about starting up a psychiatric evaluation for criminals, kind of like a Alcoholics Anonymous, but for villains. So it's Villains Anonymous. And so, being that she's a psychiatrist, she's like, okay, well, I want to go help them. And she starts to help them, but then the superheroes come down on her, take her away, and at the very end of everything, it was Amanda Waller who sent her that anonymous letter, said to do this thing. And Amanda Waller has her tied up in some containment unit, and she's force feeding her all these images, and she's saying, I need you to do something, so that's why we have you doing this. So I need you to be prepared to be strong against the superheroes. And so Harley Quinn's asking her, was any of that real, the Villains Anonymous? And Amanda Waller's all, does it matter? And so it's really interesting. It's kind of sad because you see Harley Quinn wanting to help, wanting to be a good person. And then you have Amanda Waller just screwing that all up, because that's what Amanda Waller is good at. And so it leaves off with Amanda Waller approaching the Suicide Squad that's in the movie. She goes up to Deadshot and to Boomerang and to Killer Croc and to Katana. She's going up to them saying, I need y'all to get with her and to go on this one mission. And it's going to start off in the next upcoming series, Suicide Squad issue number 1. That's going to be start up with DC's Rebirth. That isn't a reboot, it's just a rebirth. All right, so that's that one. Really good issue, get it. Next up, Superman, issue number 51. So this is after, okay, so I find out that this is the same Superman that's in the Justice League, and it ties into all the other Supermans, the action comic Superman, the Superman. So this is after the Darkseid War, after him fighting Rao and with the other people that helped him fight Rao. This is after him losing his powers and getting him back with the poison kryptonite. This is after all that incidents happened. Have you ever read All-Star Superman? If you haven't, you should, because that's exactly what this is. It's a dying Superman. And this issue, they're part 1 of the Super League Reforged. So this is about Superman dying. That's what it is. It's him coming to grips with what's happening to him, how his molecular structure is breaking down, and he goes through, I mean, it's all Superman All-Star all over again. That's exactly what, but it's, to me, it's better. It gives you a more makes sense idea, because Superman All-Star, he got close to the sun, and it was kind of crazy. But this one ties everything up neatly, ties up all these different comics, all these different story arcs, ties them all together, and gives you this pretty little package of Superman dying just before DC does their Rebirth event. So that's Superman issue number 51. You want to check that one out. It's a good list. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that came out. Some a quick good one was Poe Dameron got his issue number 1 that came out. It was a really good issue. Three Stooges got their issue number 1, their return to comics. That was really good. There's a whole bunch of other comics, and I can only pick 5, so please forgive me if it's not on your list. Let me know what's on your list. Put it in the comments below. All right, so let's talk about what's coming up next week. We're going to have A-Force number 4, which is a She-Hulk leading a whole team of female Avengers. Henceforth, you have the name A-Force, Avengers Force. It's all females. It's pretty cool. Adventure Time number 51, which has been really good. And now also Adventure Time has another current story arc that's tying in. It's called Adventure Time Ice King. And it's all about the Ice King before he became the Ice King. Him and Marceline, what they did, how they had to survive Earth past their apocalypse, the post-apocalyptic Earth. It's him and Marceline. If you don't know the story of how Ice King became Ice King, You really need to look it up. It's not for kids. It'll really mess with your emotions. So check that out. All right. Also, All New, All Different Avengers number 8. All New Inhumans number 6. All New X-Men number 8. Amazing Spider-Man number 10. Batman Superman number 31. So this is also going to tie into all the different story arcs that we have going on with Superman, the Dark Side War, the Justice League, everything that's just kind of wrapping it all up to get ready for their rebirth. All right, we have Black Canary number 10. Oh, Black Panther came out last week. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. But Black Panther came out last week, and that was a really good read. We ran out at Black Force Comics. It was a really good read. If you haven't read it, please find it somewhere. We're going to be getting some more of it in the next week. It's a really good read, so you should really check that out. Darth Vader number 19, which has been amazing. So that's coming out this week. Deja Thoris number 3, and that's Deja Thoris, the wife of John Carter, Man of Mars, and that's been really good. Descender number 9, we love Descender. Earth 2 Society, which has been another good run. Harley Quinn and Her Gang of Harleys, issue number 1, and that's going to be a 6-part series that Harley Quinn's putting out, and it's not going to be tied into the current Harley Quinn Suicide Squad or the current Harley Quinn one at all. It's completely different. Also, Harrow County number 11 is coming out. Hercules number 6, and this is leading into Hercules Call of Gods, which is going to be another tie-in to the Civil War that's happening in Marvel. Max Maximize. Do you remember Max? Did you watch MTV when you were young? Did you ever see the Max cartoon show on MTV? Look it up. It's on YouTube. Max is a pretty awesome character, and he's been in comics for a long time. So check out the Max Maximize issue number 30 is coming out. Let's see. Red Hood Arsenal number 11. Rocket Raccoon and Groot number 4 is coming out. Here's a cool one. Spawn is going to have his own adult coloring book coming out. Who doesn't want to paint blood and gore and all that good stuff? That's going to be pretty cool. You know what else is going to be coming out soon that's a coloring book? That's right, The Walking Dead is going to have a coloring book coming out soon. That's going to be pretty awesome. All right, also, to lead into this more Star Wars stuff coming up, Star Wars C-3PO. That's right, the little robots are going to have their own comic book series coming out. Starfire number 11. Transformers Sins of the Wreckers issue number 2. That's going to be a good one. Wonder Woman Special 77. That's coming up next week. Wrath of the Eternal Warrior is also, not next week, this week. Wrath of the Eternal Warrior issue number 6 is coming up this week, and that's been really good. And then to finish it off, all you Xena Warrior Princess fans, Xena is going to have her own comic series coming out this week. Xena, the Warrior Princess, issue number 1 is coming out this week. But wait, for all you artist fans and fans of commissioned stuff, we're also going to have Xena, the Warrior Princess blank comics, so you can have yourself drawn as Xena. I'm thinking about having myself drawn as Xena, or maybe as Gabby, because that would make sense. Maybe. All right, and that concludes the comics coming out this week. Let's talk about some news. So, we're back at Chupacabra Job because we never really left in the first place. But we're here with the owner, one of the owners, Craig Sabatini. And Craig's going to tell us a little bit about Chupacabra Job and the delicious things they have and what's available.
Well, of course, first of all, we have all kinds of coffee. We can do hot, iced, frap, anything you want. All these delicious flavors. But what people don't seem to realize is we have amazing food as well. Lunch, breakfast, all day long. Everything's made to order from scratch. We make it homemade. Nice little taco just for Gabriel, because everything has to be a Gabriel taco.
That's right, because we're in Texas, so everything's got to be a taco. All right, so what do y'all do in the community as far as involvement in the community?
We're both members of the Art League, so we do a lot of fundraising and things like that. Got nothing else.
How do you feel about child labor laws?
If you don't pay them, then it's not against the law.
Very good, very good. I take the same stance. All right, so the reason that we're here is because this Saturday, what we used to do in the past, last year, it seemed like a long time ago, but it was only a few months ago, we had a monthly coffee and comics trivia night. And for the holidays, we kind of took a hiatus from it, and then it extended into like a 5-month break from doing it. Yeah. And the thing is, if if your team, because it's monthly, and you have teams, and if your team wins 3 nights in a row, I mean 3 months in a row, you get a shirt specifically for your team. Right. From Chupacabra Job and Black Force Comics. So we just haven't had a winner yet. We haven't had any one team consistently win. We've had one team, the Wolverines, get really, really close on occasion, and we almost
thought we had a dynasty with them.
Yeah,
but they kind of they were back and forth.
They did. They lost a dynasty. We had to take out some of their members, kind of boot that because they were too overpowered. It's kind of like having 2 Supermans on one team. You can't have 2 Kryptonians or a Daxamite. That's crazy. And so anyway, we're going to have this Saturday the 16th at 6 p.m. We're going to start doing our Chupacabra Job Coffee and Comics Trivia Night starting up again. And it's free for the public, free to come in, free to, well, not free to buy their stuff. You can purchase their stuff, come hang out, chill out with us. We're going to be giving away stuff throughout the night. That's free. We're going to be doing the trivia around 6:30. That's free. Come by yourself. Bring a team if you don't have friends. Like I said, you can come by yourself. You can make some friends. And yeah, it's going to be this Saturday, the 16th, and every 3rd Saturday following that at 6 p.m. So,
Black Forest will have stuff displayed as well, so you can catch up on your comic books.
Correct. We'll have stuff here available for you to purchase if you don't want to go to the shop for some reason. It's Seguin. It's a 10-mile radius. What reason do you have not to? So, what else would you like to say, sir? Anything else?
We hope to see everybody. It's a lot of fun. Every time we've done it, it gets bigger and bigger. Like you said, unfortunately, we had to go on the hiatus, but everybody has a blast.
Yeah. So it's going to be lots of fun. I think that'll conclude it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, wherever those buttons are. Leave some comments down below. Come to Chupacabra Job, try out some of their coffee. Ask for the special Gabriel Taco or the Blood Moon Rising. Those are my favorites. You can see I like the Blood Moon Rising. All right, and we'll see you next week. How do you feel about personal?
If it's you, you can get as close as you like.
How close is close?
Pretty good.